What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a 2018 Forester XT Touring. Alright guys, we're going to start our way from the back and work our way to the front. This is going to be a video on just what to expect and kind of like first impressions. When you open up the tailgate, it is auto, so it'll automatically open up once you press the button. Back here you get this nice shade and kind of like a concealment. It's pretty cool. So I'd imagine if you got anything valuable, you can pop it up in there, or perhaps maybe you're trying to keep something a little bit cooler and out of the sun while you're traveling. It does have the utility mats, the all-weather mats, and it does include the carpeted mats as well. And plenty of room for storage back here. The back seats do fold down, so you get that additional storage for the back, which is really nice. And then when you go ahead and close it up, you got a button right here. You can manually fold it down, but if you press that, it'll automatically go down, which is nice and handy. Pretty cool. And this is the bronze color. It has 18-inch wheels and a nice amount of rubber there, so no issues with going over different terrain. So like I haven't felt any bumps or anything like that. Just really smooth overall. Again, I'm coming from an STI, so definitely huge difference. A lot softer suspension. In the back here, we have cup holders on each side of the doors. And again, a lot of room here for passengers. I have the car seat here for my son, and just plenty of headroom. Overall, pretty plain back here. We do have some storage back here behind the seats. And that's really about it. Nothing too special about the back here. Nice and comfortable, leather wrapped. This is the Touring model. And you have the levers here, you pull them up, you can fold the seats down, get that additional cargo space. And we'll work our way to the front. Since this is a Touring, this is a 2.0 engine. It is turboed. I think it's like 250, 260 horsepower, something like that. But it's pretty quick. Overall, leather wrap interior in the front, brown on black, cup holders in each door. This does have the Harman Kardon premium audio package as well as the all-weather package, so the seats are leather in the front as well, just all around the interior, and they're heated. Step in. Close that up. This is a push button start. And it is a CVT, so it's automatic, and you can paddle it over for manual mode, which has the paddle shifters on the steering column, or steering wheel, sorry. Okay, so we hold the brake in, and we push the button, and it starts the car up for us. You can already hear the AC going. It is hot here in Michigan today, so. And it has a center console information display. And it has a boost gauge, and you can also use this adjustment knob here, and you can go through different various menus, oil temp, miles per gallon. This thing gets 27 freeway and 23 city, so it's not bad, especially for a sport utility vehicle, in my opinion. But I don't really come from SUVs. I've always been one of those guys that says, man, I really need to get a bigger vehicle, whether a truck or an SUV, and then I always find myself getting a car. So, and that's what exactly happened. I was in the mindset of getting an SUV or a truck or even a hatchback, and I landed on the 2018 STI Limited, so something I got to deal with personally. But the viewing angles are very nice in this car. Also, I have a moonroof here. It's actually very large. It's a panoramic moonroof, so it's just, this thing is huge. So pretty nice. Great for the family or just an individual that's going out into the, exploring the wilderness or the road less traveled. Pretty cool. Steering wheel is nice. It's fully circular. I'm used to the STI where it's got the flat bottom, but still it feels really good. It has a different texture around where you grip, and then kind of smooths out here along the top. You got all your controls here for your multimedia and your phone. Also have toggles here, just like the STI, in which you can change some pieces of information on your display. And then also this has lane assist, as well as you can change your driving modes here from believe it starts on iDrive, so you can do it in sport mode and sport sharp. Again, this is a 2.0 4-cylinder boxer engine, and it is turboed. I probably said that a bunch of times, but it's got a nice get up and go, especially when you're in sport or sport sharp. I mode, intelligent mode, is ultimately going to be the slowest, and it's a little bit laggy, but that's intentional. It gives you a little bit better conservation of your gas, your fuel. This is turboed, so it takes 93, or at least 93 is preferred. You can put 91, but it's a disclaimer for maximum performance. They do encourage that you use 93 octane or higher. You have your infotainment here, which is the standard Subaru infotainment. Nothing has changed. This is actually the same layout as my STI, except this is a little bit dusty. This is a rental. Everything's functional, it works, it has the navigation. No complaints there. It looks aesthetically pleasing, but again, Subarus have been known to have a lacking infotainment as far as not being updated with like the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto. I'm not sure if this does. I don't see it here in the menus, but I know different Subarus of the same 2018 year do have it, like the Legacy and the Impreza. This doesn't appear to have it, so I'm going to say no, it doesn't. Here's where you control your heated seats. And it also has X mode here. Anyone that is a Forester expert, I believe the X mode is for when you're on like really rough terrain, perhaps like when you're out in the woods or just something rough and you need to go a little bit slower, but to get over everything. That's kind of like what I interpret to be an off-road mode. Again, please don't quote me on that, but that's what I think it is. So, you know, if I'm wrong, please correct me. And then we have power. I like to run mine across here and behind tucked, so that way I have my cell phone mounted here, because the Subarus, quite a few of them, especially the 2018s, they have this extra cutout window here, which is perfect for a cell phone mount, because I don't like putting it on the front just because it kind of gets in the way, and Michigan's a little bit particular about that. I've been pulled over for it before. No issue there, I just removed it, but it was kind of iffy, so I'm not sure if that's consistent or not. 2 cup holders. I'm on lunch break right now, so perfect for a cup of mac and cheese, a drink, and some vape stuff, standard Subaru stuff. We got here's the armrest. This actually sits high enough to where you can actually use it as an armrest, so good game for Foresters. That's really nice. The STI, it doesn't have this. It's way lower, so you can't actually use it for an armrest, but the seats are bolstered enough to where it's not a big deal. This has a very, very, very light bolstering, but it's meant to be more of a, you know, comfort vehicle and not something for performance, or at least, you know, track performance. So, and looking in here, it's very deep, so you can store a lot of items in here. You get 2 USB ports, an auxiliary outlet, and another power supply for you. Glove box here, standard amount of space, nothing too special. I don't see anything else really in there. It's just manuals and some wheel locks. So overall, you know, standard amount of space there for the glove. It's got this piano black trim along the front here, and also right here. You can control additional functions like your steering responsive headlights, traction control on or off, opening up the back gate, and turning off your blind spot detection. Each mirror has it, and it also has a light right here, and that's like your puddle light / approach light. So I was kind of confused why they face out like that, but they're bright but not really distracting, and they accent the car nicely. So, you know, I'm not going to complain because they serve the purpose and they look fine, so not a big deal there. They also are heated since it's all weather package. The rear view, it also has the home link on here, so you've got the 3 garage buttons that you can program, as well as the off and on for dimming, so that way you're not blinded by anyone behind you and their lights. And it also has the compass there on the top right corner. Up here, standard domes, as well as like your OnStar, and then SOS for OnStar as well. So overall, pretty basic features here. Nothing too special with the interior, in my opinion. That's crazy. This car's pretty cool. Like again, I don't come from SUV backgrounds, and especially automatics. I usually drive manual. But my first impressions, this car's pretty nice. It's spacious. I wouldn't say it's like overly spacious. If you're expecting like a huge difference, it feels nice, but in reality I feel like you get a little bit more in the places that you need, but it's not like super significant. But when you do fold the back seats down and get that additional storage space, that's kind of where it's at there. So that's really cool. The ride height is taller, not super tall. I would say like maybe a few extra inches, but that's all really the extra clearance you need. So you don't really have to worry about if you're not too adjusted at parking and you go over parking blocks or you get really, really close, you shouldn't have an issue with scraping anything. And then getting over tiny obstacles shouldn't be an issue either. So for that kind of off-road, and when I say off-road, I don't mean like you're gonna go bogging or anything. I would think that like, you know, campsites and stuff like that, you won't have any issues. So pretty cool. For this, it kind of equals it out. I feel like for an SUV and how much bigger it is in comparison to a regular sedan, it gets great gas mileage. And again, very smooth, especially in sport mode and sport sharp. You get a nice aggressive throttle response. So for freeway driving, it's pretty awesome. You don't really have to feel like you're stuck or taking a longer time to make a passing maneuver. So overall, I think that affects safety. Subarus have been known to have great safety ratings. I feel like this would be exactly the same. Alright, so now that we take a look at that, I'm going to shut the car down and let's take a look outside at the exterior, and then we'll call it a day for this. But again, this is the bronze color. Since it's the 2.0 XT Touring Edition, it's got the keyless remote entry, so you get this fob right here, which the top button locks, middle emblem, the Subaru emblem unlocks, and then the bottom here is for trunk, and then your panic button. And then if you press that button in here, it pulls out a valet key, so that way you can open the doors if the battery dies, which still shouldn't be an issue. The sensors on these things are really good, but you just merely put your hand over it. Right back here is a sensor, so it'll unlock the door for you. You can program it to do all doors or just your driver's side. And then we have this wavy line here, this groove. Press that, the car's locked. And then you do this. Oh, there we go. Unlocks it. So pretty cool. Turn indicators on the exterior. Again, 18-inch wheels with a lot of room, so you won't have any issues with off-roading or camping or things like that. Here's your lift. Good amount of space, so you don't really have to worry about scraping on curbs. Obviously, you don't want to go too deep, but that's just a general principle. Hood. Again, Subaru has nice lines, and they don't just limit themselves to their sedans. SUVs got them too. Paint looks really nice for this color. Steering responsive, the C lights in the front. It's got nice accents, fog lights, which is cool. Got the STI, and I'm not used to having those, so it's cool that they have them on this. Makes more sense. It's a SUV, sport utility vehicle. Hodges emblem, just because this is a rental. My STI is on its way to get some fresh paint on there, so I'll have this in the meantime. Roof rack, which I'm pretty sure you can get modified better roof racks. And then you can see that panorama roof there at the top, so pretty cool. Overall, definitely dig it. So if you're looking for a sport utility vehicle, I give the Forester a thumbs up. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of different cut trim levels, but your overall size of the vehicle is going to be the same. It's just the amenities that you get with it. With this package, I feel like it's a super safe package. Get the rear cam there as well. Again, that lane assist too, it's really cool. Great safety features, so you know, I can't speak highly enough about that. I will feel the same way about this as I did with the STI, since the viewing angles inside the cabin are so good. I really don't think you need like the blind spot detection or anything like that, but it's still a great option to have if you you know, are willing to pay the cost for it. It's good to have that second check in case there's something in your blind spots. So ultimately, really cool car, and I highly recommend it. But anyways, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.